Right, this video for a Honda Civic. This is a quite a rare car. It's the 1.4 Ti sport model. VTEC engine on these ones as well. As you can see here, an 11 plate car with 48,000 miles. The video doesn't really do justice to just how good looking this car is. It really does look good, especially in white. All the little black bits you see down here, well, you know, these little extra bits and the grille really do make the car stand out. The black wing mirrors. The car's in really lovely condition. Benefits from a full service history, which I'll show in due course. They come standard with these Team Dynamic alloy wheels, black alloys on the car, red calipers, privacy on the back of the doors. It's just really an outstanding looking car. So it's in really lovely condition. Alloy on the front there, completely unmarked. Absolutely tons and tons of tread on the tyre. You know, I mean, basically from all angles, little black insert on the sill there. Again, rear alloy, can't see any marks on there at all. And the caliper you see shining coming through from the back there. Again, tyre, just, you know, tons and tons and tons of tread on it. Go on the back of the car here. It's got parking sensors fitted. That nice sort of higher, sort of all white spoiler on the back there as well. You can see there you've got your Civic Sport emblem and Honda Sports written down on the side. It's just a really fabulous looking car. We were sort of very, very lucky to be able to get hold of it. But it's in, you know, it's in very, very nice condition for a used car. It's got the odd, you know, minuscule little chips somewhere on the vehicle if you look really hard, but the alloys are absolutely in top condition. And all the panel works really nice. When I did a road test, which will follow this video, and it drives absolutely fantastically well. It really does. And exterior wise, you know, it's in very, very, very nice condition. So if you look close, you'll find the odd tiny little stone chips somewhere on the vehicle, but they're very, very few and far between. But it's obviously been 1.4, but you know, it's obviously going to be cheaper on insurance. Very, very good on fuel, and but it just makes it more accessible to more people. Right, coming to the back of the car now, you can see, obviously, as with all the Civics, an absolutely huge boot on the vehicle. Parcel shelves there, all good and intact, and it's again all in really lovely condition. All the kind of the upholstery, plastics and trim in really nice order. As you can see, there's 60/40 fold on the rear seats, as always the case. Got your power outlet up there as well, and then you've got this kind of hidden floor. So you've got a lovely flat floor as you look here now. You've got an extra little stowage area underneath if you want, or you just pull it back, drop it down, and you end up with another sort of 6 or 7 inches of boot space in there as well. Coming to the back of the car here, rear near side door card, absolutely top condition. Back of the front passenger seat, again, no marks, no kick marks or otherwise. Likewise, the plastics and back of the driver's seat there, again, in equally good condition. And door card on the offside there, again, absolutely spot on. We've got the seats in their vertical position. This shows the kind of the magic seats, as we call it, or Honda call it rather. But that does then allow this incredible amount of extra room you can create in the back of the car. It's all beautifully engineered, as you'd expect from Honda. You drop it down, just pop it down like that. It's as simple as that. And the seats, you've got this lovely kind of I don't know what they call this stuff, Alcantara or something in the middle of it, but it's really nice looking. Absolutely fantastic condition, and obviously it affords, you know, a huge amount of rear leg room in the car as well. Right, come to the front of the vehicle now, driver's door card, and this also shows off obviously because it's a facelift car. You get this new type of plastic on here which is much more scratch resistant than the earlier generation Civics of this type. Sill area all in really nice condition. The driver's seat is absolutely perfect. I can't see any mark on there at all. And then coming across the middle and over to the passenger seat again, absolutely top condition, it really is. So sat in the car here, and obviously engine's running as it has been all the way through. Just going to pan around this fantastic dashboard. It's in beautiful condition. Part of the TI package included this more modern style sat-nav system fitted to the vehicle, which is all fully functional. Other than that, the rest of the dashboard is exactly the same as the other Civics, and all the better for it. Got this wonderful 2-tier dashboard on the car. Gives you that lovely high up MPH display up there. Everything's in perfect working order in here, absolutely fantastic. Go through to the dashboard there, you can see obviously the engine is running with the rev counter, and there's no warning lights on the vehicle at all. And you can see 48,085 miles now recorded on the vehicle. Steering wheel, obviously got this sort of sport style steering wheel with these little inserts here and around here as well. Really nice to hold, but it's in really, really lovely condition. I don't think anyone's going to really fault the car in that sense. Just to quickly show you as well, we've got the full owner's manual pack for the car and the original Honda supplied lock and wheel nut key for the car and its little holder there for you. So finally, just a quick look at the service history of the vehicle. The first, in fact, so 3 out of the 5 I think done by the Honda dealers, but you got services at 7,700, 17, 27, 37 and 47,000 miles, just recently serviced actually. So it's got a lovely history with 5 recorded services in there. Alright, this is a video for a Honda Civic. It's a 1.4 Ti. Very rare car actually. Car's registered RO11YWK and has currently covered 48,078 miles. The reason we do these road tests basically is we're selling cars to people from all over the near continent and the extremes of the UK, and we just want people to see the cars in operation prior to coming to see us, so that you know the car drives well as it should. Or if there's any issues, I can let you be aware of them prior to coming to see us. The road tests are done on exactly the same roads as you'll do yourself if you come and see the car or any of our cars, and so this video should be representative of exactly what you'll experience yourself as well. What I try and do on the road test is basically to mimic exactly what you'll do and to go through the car one by one, all the items mechanically on the vehicle which are relevant to any purchase and we'd expect you to check. So starting with the engine of the car, obviously a 1.4 litre Honda engine. Don't for a second think that a 1.4 engine can't cope with the size of the car, because it clearly can. We've sold quite a few of them, and it's a very typical Honda engine, very zippy, very nice revving. This particular example starts absolutely on the first press of the button, idles utterly silently, very smoothly, revs very cleanly, very quickly, no vibrations that shouldn't be there, no noises that shouldn't be emanating from the engine bay. Just a really, really nice engine to drive actually. With regard to the engine, just looking at the dashboard here, no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or anything else for that matter. The engine's obviously, the advantage of the 1.4 means that it makes the car accessible certainly for younger people, especially when you've got such a really lovely sporty looking car. A 20-year-old is not going to get insured really for a Civic Type R unless they want to spend thousands upon thousands each year to do so. This gives you a really, really good looking car, lovely spec on it, but obviously you've got a 1.4 litre engine which is insurance friendly, low on road tax, and you're going to be exceeding 50 to the gallon in the vehicle. Engine obviously then drives through clutch and into the gearbox itself. Clutch on the car, very smooth operating, very slick. There's no judders, there's no noises from the clutch at all. Not you'd expect it on the petrols anyway, but it's worth noting. The clutch pedal itself, again, very, very smooth indeed. I can't hear any noises that shouldn't be there from the clutch pedal. Oh, I've got the slowest moving away lorry in the world, so he's managed to get through and left everyone stranded. Always delightful. But no, it's all very, very slick. Given the mileage on the car and given the history of the vehicle and the way it's been looked after, it doesn't come any great surprise, but it's worth noting. Whilst I do these videos, I'm just conscious of the fact when I'm looking around the car inside, if I can pick up anything that should draw your attention to it. There is nothing. The car inside is in absolutely beautiful condition. It really is. It's lovely sporty steering with these little inserts in them as well on this TI version. It does make it a really nice place to sit. Right, as we pick up speed, I'll look at some of the other mechanical items on the vehicle for you. Starting with the suspension of the car, very, very nice riding car. I love the compromise Honda have come up with. It's they're obviously lean more towards the sporty side than the overall comfort. It's actually a very, very, very comfortable car to drive in. What it allows is very, very flat cornering. The steering on the car suits it perfectly, but with regard to the suspension, as it's going over the bumps now, I can't hear any noises that shouldn't be there. It's very, very tight feeling car. When it goes over a bump, you can hear it. I'll do it now. There you are. It goes over a bump, but there's no noises that shouldn't be there. And by that I mean, these are kind of little aftershocks you sometimes get, like sort of anti-roll bars chattering away underneath, or sort of struts and mounts where they give a little bit of a clonk and a bang. And it just feels a bit loose, whereas this one, it just feels absolutely tight as a drum. Likewise, steering of the vehicle, it tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations going back through the steering wheel at all, not even a hint of it. There's just no looseness in the car at all. It just feels incredibly direct. It is a really beautifully engineered car. The steering suits the chassis absolutely perfectly. It's a very quick dynamic steering rack on the car. But what I always, people don't sort of, is underplayed a little bit, is just actually how comfortable it is for especially kids in the back. A lot of cars that are softly sprung, when they're fine on the dead straight, but as soon as you come to some back roads or otherwise, it gets sloppy and they flop around. Civics have got that lovely sort of flat cornering stance, so kids get less sort of pitching and wallowing in the back, and we all know what that results in. Usually a warm neck. As I'm driving again at speed, just listening out for things like wind noise that shouldn't be there, where you might have a badly fitted windscreen or windowsill gone, but it's not. It's very, very quiet and refined in here. Brakes on the car, lovely brake pedal on the vehicle, rock solid, quick to bite, no pulsing, no vibrations back through the pedal at all, and no noises that shouldn't really be there. So mechanically, I genuinely can't fault it, and as I say in all my videos, if I can, I will, and if there's something we'll need to attend to, we will. But I can't find anything mechanically on the vehicle that would raise any concerns to anybody. I'm just going to clear the screen, just check for smearing, which is a pet hate of mine, and I can't see anything on my side certainly, and they're all in very, very nice order. Come to the inside of the car. I love the dashboard on these Civics. This is the later version, so this is the facelift version. And the way you can tell that, obviously with the TI they give it a bigger spec, so you've got this lovely, more modern style sat-nav and radio and CD fitted into the on the car there. Nice modern graphics, nice simple system to use. And then the rest of the dashboard is your classic two-tier even dashboard that you get on these Civics. It's a really brilliant dashboard, and contrary to some opinion at least, and certainly in my opinion, not that it counts, I think it's a work of art. I think this is going to be a dashboard in years to come people are going to look back on and remember, whereas they'll utterly forget the vast majority of cars on the marketplace. But this is not just about style, this is definitely about function. So basically, you've got this two-tier dashboard. Top half, the displays you want to be able to look at without hardly taking your eyes off the road. So at the moment, I'm looking at my speed, 47 miles an hour, but I'm looking ahead to the car that's pulling out on the left-hand side and the car coming towards it. And I'm still looking at the speed, I can still see it, and I'm still looking at the car in front. It is brilliant. It means, you're not taking your eyes off the road, it's taking the most commonly needed and required information in any given car. Up on the left hand side, you've got your radio information up there and your ventilation system information. So again, if you're playing with anything of those sorts of things, you're not having to look down further into the vehicle. Then as you go down onto the lower section of the dashboard, we've got more information, and you've got the more conventional binnacle, albeit on this kind of hologram effect that comes out towards you. So we've got this lovely big bold dominating rev counter. In the middle of that, it sort of floats out towards you. Information display system gives you kind of MPH, fuel usage, if anyone's left their seatbelt off, if any doors are open, that kind of stuff. Then to the left here, we've got ventilation controls, nice, dead simple, easy to use, very high quality components, beautifully manufactured, there's no wear on them at all. And one of the ways you can tell that this is a facelift car, not just by its age, is this material they use here. In the past, this was a very shiny black plastic, which looked fantastic, but unfortunately, when people put their hands down here to touch the switches, fingernails and makeup and grime and everything else would would go onto it, and it would very, very quickly look a little bit grubby. There's no problem with the quality of it. It's just that it just had an unfortunate way of it never really looked clean. Whereas this is resistant to all of that. It's a much better idea. So excuse me, a bit of hay fever currently. Coming to the steering wheel, again, can't detect an ounce of wear in it. Everything I'm holding, touching, all the buttons for the audio and the information display are in top condition there. As I said, sometimes you find people who've got rings or bracelets, they cause a lot of wear on the steering wheels, but there's nothing. It just feels like I'm sitting in a new car holding a new steering wheel. The rest of the dashboard, again, top condition, can't fault it. It's been beautifully kept. The whole car, which is much more difficult to kind of get over via video, is just how solid the car feels, and it does have that feel. I'm reluctant to say it because it's very cliched when you say it feels like a new car, but I'm not going to go as far as that. It really just doesn't feel like it's done any miles. It's just got a lovely tautness, tightness. There's no buzzes from the trim. There's no squeaks or rattles or otherwise to irritate you. They are quite beautifully made machines. In terms of kind of reliability, then it's pretty much a given from Honda. They're fantastically reliable cars. And this is the first TI we've ever had, and it certainly won't be the last, judging by the look of the car. It's such a handsome looking car, and finished in white with the black alloys. It's not chavvy, it's not distasteful. It's really done very, very, very nicely. But the important thing is when you come to buy a car, you want to make sure that the car's going to be good for the future. No one can guarantee that, but if you're buying a Honda, you've got a better chance than virtually with any other car. But normally, reliability and longevity is normally a byword for dullness and tedium and appliances. But rare is it that you find a car that's not only utterly reliable and dependable and long-lasting, but it's also incredibly practical, huge amounts of space in the car, but fantastically interesting as well. You've got this brilliant dashboard, wonderful chassis and steering on the car. It really is a brilliant car to drive, especially along winding country lanes and sweeping A roads, and it's just a lovely, lovely vehicle to be in. But basically that kind of concludes the video. Obviously I hope it's been of use to you. Apologise for my snivelling all the way through it. All I can assure you is if you're coming to drive the car, based on what I've felt so far in the vehicle, I see no reason to think that you'd be utterly delighted with the car. There's nothing I can report back on the vehicle that you should be aware of. But if there's anything I've missed on the video, then please don't hesitate. Do give us a call, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have for the vehicle.